Could we be living through miraculous times without sensing it? Could we be witnessing destiny unfolding before our eyes? The Jewish people have held on to one hope above all else, the words of the prophets of Israel, faith and promises given thousands of years ago by the first human philosophers to envision world peace. These moral and spiritual giants also made claims, promises about the future of Israel throughout their generations. The claims, when studied, seem impossible, promises that seem to contradict each other. The thing about prophecy is, if one is wrong, the whole project is false. The first promise to Israel was given to Abraham, an eternal covenant. The Jewish people are the only ancient people alive today. All the other biblical nations, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Jebusites, the Moabites, they're all gone. Only the Jewish people stand alive today. The prophets claim that although there is an eternal bond between Israel and God, if they do not live a godly life in the land of Israel, there are consequences. We will be exiled from our land and scattered to the four corners of the world. The last thing you would want to do with an eternal people is to scatter them around the world with no common language, no common culture, no internet, no forms of communication. How will the Jewish people stay Jewish? How will we stay eternal if we're scattered across the world? That's exactly what happened. The most recent census numbers the Chinese people at 1.3 billion people, plus or minus 12 million. 12 million, that's the entire number of all of the Jewish people worldwide. We're just a statistical error when counting the people in China. Jewish people are scattered small. The Torah says that the worst curses possible would befall the Jewish people during our dark exile. Anti-Semitism is the oldest, most prevalent, universal, irrational hatred in the world. The persecution transcended logic or politics. And despite all the persecution, not only did we survive, we thrived. The ingathering of the exiles is the most prophesied event in the Bible. It's mentioned over 40 times. In 1915, there were only 60,000 Jews in the land of Israel. Today, there are over 6 million Jews. Never before has a nation been scattered around the world only to return to its ancient homeland. Today in Israel, you see universalism. Jews from Ethiopia, Russia, North America, the Middle East, all Jews from the ends of the earth have returned to Israel. The Torah also makes a promise about the land of Israel itself. As long as the Jews are outside the land of Israel, the land would lay desolate. Every major road crossed through Israel, from Babylon to Egypt, from south to north. Israel stood at the center of the ancient world. Every empire tried to cultivate the land of Israel. The Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, and in modern times, the Turks, the British, all the empires with all of their power, all of them failed. But the land of Israel, as promised, plays by a totally different set of rules. We're told that when the Jewish people return to the land of Israel, the land will blossom. Just as the people of Israel have been revived, the land has been revived as well. The land didn't change, it returned to itself. The blood rushed to its cheeks, the color returned to its eyes, as the pioneers spent their whole lives irrigating, farming, digging an oasis out of this desert. The prophets tell us that one day the Hebrew language will be revived. Just a few decades ago, the Hebrew language was all but lost. No one spoke Hebrew. Scholars and rabbis learned Hebrew to learn, pray, write in the original holy language, but no one spoke Hebrew as they did in the times of King David. It's hard to imagine that there's a country of over 6 million people that speak a language no one spoke 70 years ago. It's been resurrected like the Jewish people in their homeland. Every promise has come to pass. Israel has become the largest and most powerful Jewish community in the world. The Torah center of the world has returned to Jerusalem. Biblical destiny is unfolding before our eyes. Human destiny is happening now.
The establishment of the State of Israel on Yom HaAtzmaut and the reunification of Jerusalem on Yom Yerushalayim are arguably the two most significant and important days in all of Jewish history since the time of Hanukkah 2,300 years ago. World Mizrachi is privileged to have partnered with Koren Publishers to create the World Mizrachi Koren Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim Machzor to give spiritual expression to the incredible miracles that have been experienced in our era, in our times. Mizrachi stands for two words, Merkaz Ruchani, a spiritual center. When Herzl founded the political Zionist movement, it was Mizrachi then which partnered with him. So too is World Mizrachi today, revitalized and committed now more than ever to the future fate and destiny of the Jewish people. From Yerushalaim, Emtzaito Shel Olam, the center of the spiritual world, the center of the Jewish world, we wish all of our branches and all those celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim a Chag Sameach. And we hope and pray, L'Shana Haba, Yerushalayim Habnuya.
I want to wish our friends all around the world Happy Yom Yerushalayim, Happy Jerusalem Day. We celebrate this once a year, and it commemorates the day that Israel freed and united Jerusalem in 1967. You know, Jerusalem was founded about 3,000 years ago by King David. He united all of the people of Israel, and he designated Jerusalem as the capital of the Jewish people. Since then, 3 times a day, Jews pray towards Jerusalem. And during the 2,000 years that we were spread around the world, we all prayed for the day that we will return to Jerusalem. After the State of Israel was founded in 1948, we had a state, but we were missing the heart. We were missing Temple Mount, we were missing the Western Wall. And it took 19 years for us to come back and unite our Jerusalem. And finally, the heart of Israel returned to the body of Israel. Jerusalem cannot be divided ever, ever. It's the holiest place in the world for all 3 religions, and we will ensure that it always stays united. I want to wish you Happy Yom Yerushalayim.
שאלו שלום ירושלים, שליו אוהבייך, זוהי הפסוק והברכה שכל יהודי בכל עת ובכל שעה תמיד צריך לזכור, שאלו לשאול בשלום ירושלים. ואני בא כעת בהזדמנות המיוחדת הזו של יום ירושלים לברך אתכם, יהודים יקרים הנמצאים בכל רחבי העולם, אבל באופן מיוחד לתנועת המזרחי אשר בשיקגו, שמקיימת את החגיגה הזו לכבוד יום ירושלים.
Yom Yerushalayim Sameach to all those of the RZC, the Religious Zionists of Chicago, celebrating at this time, this community event on this beautiful day. I want to say also Yishar Koach to Rabbi Jerry Eisenberg, our Executive Director in Chicago, and all of the members of the board of the re-energizing and re-relevance of this organization at such a critical time in Jewish history, where the place of Israel today, Zionism in general in Jerusalem under threat, the broadest inculcation of these values is so important, and look forward to so many more years and decades of partnership together. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.